Holy moly, on today's episode, we talk about the 3 steps required to prepare your business and life for the upcoming holiday or any holiday in general to guarantee your win. Plus, I talk about the craziest road trip ever. Envision 3 horses, 3 snakes, 2 kids, 2 cars into northern Montana in the middle of the winter without a home to go to. Yep, I talk about that at the end of the episode too, but let's get into the show. So, we're going to talk about the 3 steps to prepare your business and sometimes your life for the upcoming holiday or any holiday. And we broke it down into 3 steps to make this easy. You know this is a Winning Wednesday podcast, so we're going to get into it step by step by step. And this is going to be really important. But let me first tell you what I don't want you to do. I do not want you to go on holiday, whatever holiday that is, and while on holiday, constantly have this thread pulled of like, is this working? Is this breaking? Is this going? Is this happening? That's preventing you from doing the thing that you're running the business for, which is to be present and in your life, to be present and spending time with people you love, to be present and having activities, to be present and enjoying yourself. The reason that we do what we do and we have the impact that we have is so that we can also utilize that business as leverage to have an impact in our life, and we have to be present. So my one thing is I don't want you to be a firefighter. You don't get to go on holiday, go on Christmas, go on New Year's, go on any holiday of the year, and then come back and be like, I got to put out all these fires. You can prevent all of them. And with some focus and intentionality, you will be able to enjoy yourself, come back stronger than ever, and absolutely rock the time frame after the holiday. And I said you can apply this to any holiday, but we're going to be talking about Christmas and New Year's because that's coming up when I'm recording this podcast. So the team and I broke this down into 3 simple buckets for you on how to prepare your business and your life for the upcoming holiday. And the 3 buckets are simple. Bucket number 1 is communicate. Bucket number 2 is test. And bucket number 3 is clean. I'm going to say this again. Bucket number 1 is communicate. Bucket number 2 is test. And bucket number 3 is clean. And so I'm going to take you through each of these buckets and tell you what we're doing and what we recommend doing. And I want you to use this as a guide. Add things to it that feel good to you. Take things away that might not be aligned to you or your business. Sync with your team on coming up with a plan from everybody, from you in the vision seat, CEO seat, CMO seat, COO seat, wherever you are in the business, or if you're an employee in a business, bring this to the boss of the business. Bring this to the top to help everybody win and come up with your plan. And so bucket number 1 on how to prepare your business for the upcoming holiday is number 1, communicate. And the first place that you have to communicate is with your team. So you have to make sure that everybody is aware of all the important initiatives that have to be wrapped up before the holidays. You have to be aware of everything that needs to be wrapped up before the holidays, and you have to put dates on them and close them so that they are complete. You have peace of mind, and you can do the next step when we get there. Number 2, you have to let everybody on the team know what to expect when they come back from holiday. Hey guys, we're going to be off this time. This is what it's going to look like. When we get back, this is how we're going to come back into the office. This is how we're going to set up a meeting. This is how we're going to align. You have to come up with a plan to lead the team. Number 3, let everybody know your availability over the holidays ahead of time. Come up with very clear communication boundaries and escalation procedures. Hey guys, I'm not going to be available for 4 days around Christmas and on December 27th because that's actually my birthday. And so if you do need to communicate with me with those times, just send me a message on Slack because I'll check that when I'm back to work. If it's an emergency, you have my phone number. This is what constitutes an emergency. If one of you gets arrested, if, the world ends, if our entire business explodes without us knowing, come up with every clear delineation, boundary, communication strategy required. And then number 4 is give your team permission to take some time off and focus on themselves and family. Give your team permission. Tell them to go away. Tell them to ignore you. Be like, hey, if I'm having a panic attack and I don't escalate it up and it doesn't fit into the bucket, ignore me. Do not respond. Do not come back. And I'm going to challenge you to protect yourself, and don't send it to them. Write it down until you get back to your meeting. So the first thing is to communicate with your team. So make sure everybody's aware of all the important initiatives that have to be wrapped. Make sure you let everybody know what to expect when they come back from the holidays. Make sure everybody knows your availability over the holidays and how to communicate and what to escalate, and then give your team permission to take time and focus on themselves and family. And my last step is make sure you ask your team on how to best communicate with your customers for this next step. So in the bucket of communication, you have team and then you have customers. And so now when we get into customers, you need to communicate to your customers. You need to lead them as they prepare for the holidays. So set them up to win while you're away. Set expectations. Let them know what's coming leading up to the holiday and where you're going to be over the holiday. Let them know what to expect when you come back from the holiday. Let them know your availability as a company over the holidays. And give them permission to take time off and focus on themselves and families. You have plenty of communication channels. You probably have an email list. You probably have social media. You can have ads. You have a lot of ways to do this. But you need to treat your customers like you treat your team, and you need to set expectations. That's what leadership is. That's what our business is. That is what we are doing. And so help them prepare and set them up to win without you so they can have wins in their life associated with you, and then let them know when you're coming back and what to expect when you come back so they can get excited. They can come back in. They can maintain flow with you and keep going. So bucket number 1 is communicate. So clearly communicate with your team, and then clearly communicate with your customers, which then leads us to bucket number 2. And bucket number 2 is test. And you need to test everything that's going to be running while you're gone. And I mean test it all. If you're like, oh, I made sure I turned the water off and there was a little drip and you go away for holiday, your house is flooded. Even if you're sure, double check and triple check just to make sure to give yourself that peace of mind. But think about all the things that we have running while we're gone. You and all of your employees get to take some time off. Your ads can run. Set them up. Go into your ad account and set some parameters so if it breaks, it shuts itself off. If it hits a certain threshold, it shuts itself off. That was a hard thing to say. If it hits a certain threshold, it shuts itself off. If it stops converting as it was converting, it shuts itself off. Your ads team knows how to do this. Let them do it. What about your scheduled posts? Do you have them scheduled? Are they scheduled in Facebook? Are they scheduled in Creator Studio for Instagram? Are your podcasts scheduled? Test them. Make sure the links are live. Make sure they're good. Test one today and get it scheduled so nobody can see it. Have it published privately and make sure it works. Test your email automations. Do you have emails pre-scheduled out? Check them. Read them. Proofread them. Check your funnels if you have them. Check your products if you have them. Check your integrations if you have them. This is a perfect time to do a full-to-wall audit of all the moving parts in your business and be aware that they're oiled, they're working properly, or they might need a little bit of attention to run smooth if they're ignored for a couple of days because they're doing their job. Check your zaps if you have integrations, like when somebody buys this, it goes here and it goes here. Create some test emails and go through all of them. Go through the entire business with you and your team and ask them all, hey, we're going to be off. What would we need to check to make sure that all of us cannot show up, not log in, not look at anything for 5 days? And make a list and then go check and check and check and design it to run as it's supposed to do to allow you to do that. The reason technology and automations are so powerful is because they are designed to replace us. They are not designed for us to micromanage every day and then take all of our time doing it. So utilize them to their capacity. These things work every single day. And when you are aware of them and you pay attention to them, you oil them correctly, they work. So make sure everything is functioning properly in case nothing is checked by a human for the next week. And then utilize those same automations with parameters. You have things like in Zapier. If one of your zaps doesn't work, it sends you an email, right? You have these safety nets in place to do this. But it's time to look at the business and time to look at the flow as an easy way to create space. How beautiful is it that we can have our ads running during the holidays, wishing our customers a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Valentine's Day, a Happy Thanksgiving, while also generating and selling our products, which is going into our store, which is automating and sending them to our 3PL, and then shipping the product out, which is then triggering the emails that we pre-wrote for those sequences or those broadcasts are going out that we wrote. But if you take a little bit of time to plan and you do it correctly, you get peace of mind when you are out enjoying the reason you're building this business, and you get to come back to everything working, and then you assess and you move on. No reason to fight fires, no reason to do anything. So test everything, and please test everything. Leaves no stone unturned. Peace of mind is a gift, so test everything. So step number 1 is communicate clearly. Communicate with your team and communicate with your customers. Step number 2 is to test, and to test everything. You test, have your team test, put up out of office responses, test them. Put up auto replies on the iPhone. One of my favorite things is I do this little hack, but if you use do not disturb mode on the iPhone, it's technically designed for when you're driving, but I don't use it when I'm driving. You can change the message. So I'll turn on quote unquote the driving mode or do not disturb mode, and I'll have my message say I'm out of the office for 4 days. If you need anything, send it to my inbox so I can get it when I get back at my convenience. Okay? So test everything, which leads us to bucket number 3. And bucket number 3 is clean. Clean, clean, clean. Tidy up your workspace. There are 3 places that you can clean. You can clean physically, you can clean digitally, and you can clean mentally. Start physically. Clean up your desk. Clean up your office. Have all of your employees clean up. The best thing to come back to is a clean space. Free of clutter, ready to see, ready to go, and ready to get to work with no distractions. So use this as an opportunity. Clean up the office. Right before you leave, maybe decorate a new thing. Maybe remove something to create space. Maybe get rid of that thing that's been sitting there that you've been putting off, so when you come back, it's already handled. Then, clean up your digital space. Empty your inbox. Clean up your desktop. Clean up your Dropbox. Get rid of all these extra files. Get rid of all this clutter. Have you and your employees do the whole thing. Make a competition out of it. Before you guys go out of the office, get on a Zoom party and have a competition while everybody's doing it, like who can clean their desktop the fastest, who can clean their physical space. Give your team a competition who decorated their desk the best for when they come back. But clean your physical space, clean your digital space, and then clean your mental space. When you leave that office, whether it's your virtual office, your digital office, your laptop, wherever it is, I want you to leave everything there. So in the mental space, process whatever you have to process. Do some breath work, write some things down, and have a notebook, have a physical medium, and write out everything that's open in your brain. And don't leave until everything that's open in your brain has been documented. So your brain is on paper, you know what you have when you come back, and then you can go be fully present and bask in the results that you've created in your life and in your business. And it doesn't matter where you are. Give yourself time to be present. Give yourself time to charge the batteries. Give yourself time to enjoy the gift of presence so that you can refill your gas tank and come back to rock and roll and win the Olympics. It feels amazing when you come back to a clean and organized space. It feels amazing when you come back to working with people that are all in the same thing. And so the 3 containers that you have to use to set your business and life up to win for any holiday and coming back is communication, testing, and cleaning. And when you come back, I'm going to highly recommend when you come back, you don't jump into the work. Set expectations so that when you come back, you guys have a meeting and a kickoff meeting, a resync meeting. Come get plugged back in. Come get back aware of what's there. Do an audit of all the things that you guys have going on and come up with a plan and get started with new marching orders and a crystal clear direction in that clean space while everything was running to focus on all of your initiatives. And so, in order to be congruent with what I just talked about, I need to tell you what our plans are as I take a sip of my coffee. So for us, we are going to be publishing podcasts on the normal days, which means we are actually dropping a podcast on Christmas Day And we are dropping a podcast on New Year's, and both of them are going to be special episodes. I'm still working on them, but they're going to be special episodes. So if you want to, and it's a part of your relaxation, listen to the podcast. If you don't, wait till you get back and listen to it. But we will be publishing our podcast as regularly scheduled. So Christmas Day, there will be a podcast, and New Year's, there will be a podcast. We are still running ads. We still have our ads running for our amazing Eternal Flame method email marketing masterclass. We have the on-demand training. The ads will still be running in case people are wanting to consume it or wanting to work over the holidays, or maybe they only take a day off. All of our ads will still be running, and everybody, yourself included, can still come into the Eternal Flame method, which is our email marketing masterclass training, or you just want to jump in and join. And so that you can go to www.lightmyeternalflame.com to join, or you can go to theeternalflamemethod.com to watch the training. We're still, as always, accepting people into our mastermind, as always, meaning it's open enrollment right now. And so if you want to join our mastermind, if you want to be a part of our family, if you want to join all these skyrocket results you see people posting and they're tagging me and the team in, shoot us an email. My personal email is georgeb, so GEORGEB, @georgebryant.com to set up a 15-minute discovery call. So no form, no nothing. Shoot us an email with the subject line mastermind. My team will respond and we'll set up a call to see how we can best support you moving into the new year after these holidays, to set your focus and whatever we can do to support you. And we will not be working on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. And I probably won't be working for quite a few days around those because it's my birthday and we're moving 18 hours away and driving with 3 horses, 2 cars, 3 snakes, and a whole lot of stuff over 18 hours. And so I am going to be working on my family and in my life while the team is working, but we will not be working on Christmas Day or on New Year's Day. And when we come back from the holiday, we are going to be kicking off the new year with an entirely new level of focus and intentionality to absolutely change the game when it comes to ethically building and scaling businesses, whether it's your customer journey, whether it's your email, whether it's your social. We are here in your corner to help you win gold, and the level of focus that we have been working on for the last couple of months, the plan, everything coming out is an absolute new level that I don't think anybody's experienced from us before, and I am excited about it. And we're going to be posting about all of it in our Facebook group, which is the Relationships Beats Algorithms Facebook group, which most of you are in. And if you are not, go jump in. Just search Relationships Beats Algorithms on Facebook or go to mindofgeorge.com and it links over. That's what we have coming up. That's what we are doing. So you will still be able to hear podcasts. If you shoot us an email, we might take a couple days to get back because we're not responding on Christmas or New Year's Day, and I'm not responding on my birthday as that's a family day. We are doing all of what we teach. Our ads will still be running. Our content will still be posted because it's all automated and it's all posted. Feel free to engage. We might engage because that's fun for me. But most importantly, I want you to set yourself up to win. I want you to set your team up to win. I want you to set your family up to win. And I want you to have a plan. I want you to clearly communicate. I want you to clearly test. And then I want you to clean. And I want you to have all of those things so when you come back, it's time to win your race, stay focused, run your best race, and keep going. So that's today's episode. That's the Winning Wednesday. That is the 3 ways to prepare your business for the upcoming holiday, what we're doing. And I will be sure to document this road trip because I have a feeling a lot of humor is going to arise from driving cross country up to northern Montana in the middle of the winter with 2 cars, 3 kids, 3 snakes, and I think we're bringing the horses, and if not, we're using the horse trailer to move our stuff. And so this will be fun because we're going to live in Airbnbs. We're going and taking the family on an adventure. One of the reasons I'm cleaning all of my stuff is I want to be able to explore life and adventure with my kids and prove the story of me not having a home and struggling with homelessness and a lot of other things. And so I'm excited about this adventure. I'll make sure that I'm documenting it all so you can have your laugh, you can see it all. But most importantly, I want you to plan so you can have the best holiday ever. I'll see you guys on the podcast on Christmas. I'll see you guys on the podcast on New Year's Day. And I'll also see you guys on all the podcasts after this. But since we talked about planning for the holidays, that's what we're going to talk about. So go create a plan, communicate well, test your automations, test everything in your business, and then clean your space so you can rock and roll. No matter what day of the week it is, I hope it's absolutely beautiful for you. And remember, throughout your day, as much as possible, whenever you need it, take a minute to just sit back, take a deep breath, and appreciate everything that's around you. Breath is the gift of life. I don't practice it enough, so I'm going to practice it right now. Time to cue the outro. I'll see you, or you'll hear me in your earballs in the next episode.